4, 3, 2, 1.
Good morning and welcome to the Morning Market Minutes, brought to you by 3T Academy. I'm your host, Billy, and I'll be taking you through today's top market stories and analysis. Today's show is proudly hosted by Double Bottom Trades, where we bring you the latest in trading strategies and techniques. This is a crazy market, man. There's been some serious ups, some serious downs. We got some support levels that we're going to be testing today to see if we can break through and see some lower levels. But before we do that, we always need a little motivation from Lady A. What do you got for us, man?
All right, this morning's motivation for April 4 is most folks are as happy as they make their minds to be.
I like that. Happiness is a choice, especially when you're in the dark times or when you're going through the bullshit. It's a choice. You have to find happiness and joy in the moment, whatever that moment is, because tomorrow's not promised and it can be gone. The happiness is not caught up in the things, the people, or the relationships. You have to be happy yourself, and then that will allow other people to be happy around you. That's one of the biggest conversations my wife and I had together whenever we first got together is we are not responsible for each other's happiness. We're responsible for each other's support, love, and being there. But as far as happy, you have to choose that happiness, whatever it is for you each day. So yeah, it's a choice. A good one, man. You made me get on that one. All right, let's get into it and see what the fear and greed index is showing us. Let me share the screen. After a year and a half, I finally learned how to do that. All right, let's get into this. Not the one I want. Try this one. No, there it is. All right. So we got the fear and greed sitting at a 51. That's a good little area to be. I know it says neutral. I'd like to see a little more greed in it, so we know there's some more volume. But anything above a 35 or 40 is a good area to be, because we just need that volume. We don't need anything crazy. We just need good, consistent volume with some press releases, and we can generate that money. So we'll see how it goes. We hope some more money comes in the market. I know 2 weeks ago, we were sitting at a 19 in extreme fear, and there was nothing going on in the market. So it's nice to see the market moving again. We'll see if we can keep it that way, or see if the bottom drops out of this thing. Let's go check out FinViz and see what the actual markets are doing. Oh man, we called those yesterday. We was calling those 408 breaks, and man, that thing took a nice little tumble. So the Dow is down 198 points, the Nasdaq is down 63 points, and the S&P 500 is down, excuse me, almost 24. And you can see they all hit those double bottoms, kind of some triple bottoms. Dow bounced twice, came up, found resistance at the 334. And the NASDAQ kind of did the same, except it was trying to find that shelf and trying to break through. But rallied back up, still didn't go back up to the 1215 where it could go. We'll see if it pulls back down. S&P 500, same thing. We had puts and calls on this thing. Yesterday loaded up. I think it was 411.49 break. We caught that 411.49 break, and I think it went all the way down to 407 and some change on a wick down. So it's going to be interesting. We do have some downtrends down, but we did have a pop up on all these. We'll see if there's a short squeeze out there and see where the market's going. We do have the ability to run back up. Like I said, these have hit a double bottom. We'd like to see the leg a little bit sharper and not so extended. And as long as these start to make higher lows, we'll see what we do. So like right now, you can see there's a trend right here. If they can break up out of this area about the 411 again and get a run to the top side, we'll see what it can do. So if it goes up, it's going to have some resistance at 411 and then main resistance right about 412.50. If we can get above that, then we'll see if we can run up to that 415 area. But I don't think it's likely today within the next few days. After we put our plan together and we take a look at things, if we're not seeing anything moving, we're going to take a look at IFRX, or you guys can take a look at it. CDLX, NFTG, ALAR, ASUT, and MGRX. Those are some of yesterday's top gainers, so just keep those on look. I don't know if there's any press release. I have to go back and check a look. Let's go check out, actually. Make sure I can see everybody. Yeah, my boy's here. All right. Let me pull up the market watch. And what we got coming up, Dustin? You're muted, fam. Welcome to my world.
And it's a problem trying to find the unmute button. Yeah, so for today, we have two reports coming out. We'll talk real quick about what's coming out the rest of the week. But for today, the main two are the ADP employment report. And so what that report goes over, it's a monthly report of economic data that tracks the level of non-farm private employment in the US. That one comes out at 8:15, and the second one at 8:30, the US trade balance. So the trade balance, that report's more of a net sum of the country's exports and imports with goods, and not taking into account like the financial transfers, investments, and other companies as well. So those are the two main reports coming out today. Then for the rest of this week, Thursday, we have our normal initial jobless claims reports, which always tends to move the markets one way or the other. And then Friday, the 7th, comes out the U.S. Employment report and hourly wages reports. That's all I have here.
Nice, bro. Nice. Yeah, we got to keep updated on the news, especially when, you know, the feds are speaking or there's any kind of interest rates movements. So big shout out to Dustin for keeping us up to date on all that. Some other things I want to touch on that we don't always touch on, but it's definitely affecting us in the world we're living on. And one of those things are mortgages. And one of our mortgage experts, Mr. Darren Pantaleo, is in here. So I just want to touch base with you and kind of ask you what's going on in the mortgage industry right now, fam.
Excuse me, it's still pumping along, just kind of slow, you know. There is still quite a bit of fear in the market. It hasn't really subsided. One thing that's going on, the Silicon Valley bank crash thing is really affecting the local banks. I'm starting to see. They have a lot of bad debt on their books. They bought a lot of security instruments that aren't performing now, and it's literally filtering out to like hometown banks, man. There's a lot of instability. I was talking to a president of a bank the other day, and I guess statistically there's literally 10 trillion in money that's beginning to flow out of these banks.
Wow.
They're actually people are starting to put their money where it treats them better. And it's causing a cascade effect in our country, you know. So far, there's been 1 trillion in deposits that have flowed out of the banks since Silicon Valley bank crash. And I guess what people are doing is they're putting them in treasury bills, money market funds, non-bank funds. And that's going to leave an impact, man. It could cause the private sector to shrink back even more and possibly have small crashes in different communities and stuff. But just some statistics I've been looking at too in relation to what we're talking about with the bear market. Statistically, a bear market has never bottomed out before a true recession begins. Statistically, I believe we're in a recession, but they're saying it's going to take hold more, and that the bear market is not gonna, it's going to keep going down. Things are going to keep crunching down. Also, a bear market has never bottomed out, man, before the 2-year treasury yield has peaked. And right now, the 2-year treasury bill is at 3.98, and it goes to a maximum of 5.283. So we could be in this bear run for a little bit longer. Yeah, and also they're saying that a bear market never ends before the first Fed rate cut. That's another statistical thing. And then also 10 consecutive monthly declines in the LEI, which is a legal entity identifier. That's like this thing that they gauge. That's already occurred, and that's always led to a recession, just for some stats and stuff like that. But
Great.
yeah, they're saying that we might see a rate cut possibly in July of 100 basis points, but that is not, you know, that's speculation still. So if they do a rate cut in July of 100 basis points, it will spur the mortgage market. I guarantee it. But right now it's just kind of steady Eddie, and it's just pumping along steadily at a slow pace. So
Sweet. Thanks, fam. Good info, man.
You bet,
Yeah.
brother.
I know my house has dropped in value quite a bit. Probably 40,000 roughly is what it's dropped. It's been crazy to watch that. So
Oh,
I
yeah.
I agree with that assessment 100%. I don't think we're anywhere close to where we're gonna be. The hurt, and
Where we're
pain,
heading. Yeah.
that pain level, we haven't endured it yet. Um,
No.
a little bit, we're recording, but I mean, it's all true. Yesterday we were talking about the McDonald's thing. There's been some very, very, very high level people, very long tenured people from corporate McDonald's that have been laid off, man. And we were talking about that earlier in the year that these companies were going to start trimming the fat. And I mean, what I mean by that is anyone who's close to retirement, anyone with some absorbent bonuses, anyone that they can take their pay. The math usually was 3-1. If I could take your pay and get 3 employees on the floor, then your salary was cut. Especially
Yeah.
like these. So that stuff's literally happening. We called it since last year. Once that starts happening, they'll trickle the fat down from the top, and then they'll go into the labor force and see how extreme that needs to be before prices can actually start coming down from inflation. But none of that will happen if they keep printing money.
Exactly.
That's
And they
where
turned it on again, Billy.
yeah, that's where the hyperinflation is really going to kick in, and we've never seen anything like it, guys. So, like I said, I tell people not to be scared, but just be prepared. It's not anything we can stop. We just have to understand what we're doing, and that the good thing is we have a community like this that we got each other's back. If something happens, and we can reach out and take care of each other. So that's what I love about this community. All right.
Heck yeah. The positive thing, brother, is we can even make money in this bear market. We're
I was about to say,
demonstrating it daily. You know what I'm
man,
saying?
bro.
So
Yeah, as soon as if anything happens, you guys are going to be good. Just like Darren said, we can trade in any kind of market. We're in the worst market I've ever seen in my life, and we're ripping $800,000 days.
yep.
Not 800,000, but 800 to 1,000. I rip a $800,000 trading day. I'm taking a week or two off. Y'all just gonna be on pause for a minute. Y'all can watch some video. But if Daddy has an $800,000 trade, it's a wrap for a minute. All right, let's pull up. Yeah, good message, man. You're absolutely right. This skill set is what's going to save us from a lot of headaches. Go ahead, Miss April.
Just looking at the DXY this morning, we've got some major support coming up, which likely could lead to a bounce, which is going to lead to further downside in the indices and crypto.
Yeah, I think crypto is going to take a hit. Everybody knows how big of a fan I am of Bitcoin. I want that decoupling to happen. It's shitty any way I look at it, because if XRP is the chosen one and we decouple from Bitcoin, then I'm stupid rich. Like, I will have FU money to my grandkids will have FU money. But the bad thing about that is we'll be enslaved for the rest of our life. There will be nothing we can ever do again. Like, I'll have to watch my P's and Q's and all that, because I promise you I'll get some social score. I'm fucked. I'm telling you right now that I ain't never gonna leave the house. Someone's gonna have to shop for me, because it's gonna be horrible. On the other side of that, though, you have Bitcoin, who was created by some no-name person. I mean, such a great business plan. If it's something I really want to invest millions of dollars in, yeah, Satoshi Nakamoto is the one I do not want to go with. So it's just that balance, pick the lesser of two evils and try to understand both. I don't hate on people who invest in Bitcoin, because it's an investment. I can't hate on anyone investing in something, whether I understand it or don't. If you're investing in something, then you're trying to make yourself better, and I can respect that. So yeah, no hate it at Bitcoin. I just don't understand it. But I hope y'all get rich, man. At least I won't be enslaved. I don't mind that at all. All right, so let's get into the morning squawk, man. April 5th, 2023. Y'all ready for this? Cat in the Hat, Dr. Seuss hour. Economic worries bubble up. The Dow and S&P 500 broke their 4-day winning streak Monday, and we got paid. The NASDAQ also declined. The day of losses came as investors chewed over the latest data in the economy. Concerns of slowdown are rising again after new data showed that job openings fell below 10 million for the first time in more than 2 years. What did we say? We've been saying it. There's more jobs data due this week, too. Wednesday morning brings the ADP private polls report, while March jobs report is due Friday. Markets are closed to that day due to Good Friday. Man, if there was ever a time something was going to pop off and we're at an apex moment in our existence as humans, we are going through Passover, Easter. I think there's a full moon. The first sitting president or first president ever got arrested and charged with a crime. The United States has been taken off the world reserve currency. I mean, Mexico is trying to get in BRICS. Malaysia just got into BRICS. If there was ever a time in our life that something was going to pop off, it is now. Like we are just primed. It's like a big ass pile of kindling out in the yard, and we're about to have a bonfire. It's just gonna. The wood is dry. It's soaking wet with gas underneath it, and this thing is gonna get lit. So it's gonna be interesting to see what happens. Like I said, I'm excited. I'm not even scared. Next, J&J agrees to settle talc claims. Is that talcum powder? Johnson Johnson said it agreed to pay $8.9 billion over 25 years to settle tens of thousands of claims that its talc-based baby powder caused cancer due to asbestos contamination. It's like country education, y'all, my bad. The company pulled back the talc-based powder off the shelves earlier this year, and J&J committed to fairly compensate. You gave these motherfuckers cancer, and you're going to fairly compensate, dirty bastards. The people who made the claims, according to one of the plaintiff's lawyers who negotiated the settlement, our job is to get our clients fairly paid for their injuries. And the settlement is the culmination of a job well done, said the attorney, Michael Watts. J&J, however, said it still believes the claims lack merit despite the attempt to settle the matter. Ooh, I know Johnson Johnson, Pfizer. Pfizer was one of the biggest ones. They settled one of the biggest injury settlements ever, and some other shit that's happened. So it's amazing that these companies are allowed to, excuse me, operate and still have these things. And what's even more crazy is we still buy the things, but all they do is they either relabel, rebrand, and then move the same stuff into something else, and you never even see it. It's the wildest thing. Half the stuff that's sold to us here is not sold overseas and not allowed to put in their products. Number 3, there's a new number 2 in EVs. General Motors have pulled ahead in the race to be distant second to Tesla in the U.S. electric vehicle sales. In the first quarter of this year, GM sold more than 20,000 EVs, putting ahead of Hyundai, Kia, and Volkswagen, each of which sold over 14,000 EVs in the last year's. Number 2, Ford Motors sold more than 10,000 in that period. Tesla, however, still rules the roost by a huge margin. The company doesn't break out sales figures by region, but it reported more than 422,000 overall deliveries for the quarter. Of that, Motor Intelligence estimates Elon Musk company sold more than 160,000 EVs in the US during that time frame. Man, I think electric vehicles are cool. I wouldn't mind having one, especially the self-driving ones. I don't mind taking naps while I drive. I'm over 45. I think I'm allowed to do that now. Afternoon naps are a requirement. But what I will say is our electrical grid ain't built for this shit. It is not. Let me tell you again, and I'm going to reiterate this. I don't care how much you like them. We are not built to sustain that. And you talk about a massive disruption to our lives, let those energy grids go down. Like it's just, we're all setting it up for just, it's crazy. There's so purposeful, it feels like. It's just wild. All right, next. Frank's founder's alleged fraud. Wow, say that 15 times fast. Frank founder's alleged fraud. All right, Charlie Javis looked like she had won the world, had the world in the palm of her hand. She created a startup, Frank, that promised to shake up the financial planning for college, which JP Morgan bought for $175 million. Damn. And was once featured on Forbes 30 under 30 list. Now at age 31, she's facing 4 federal criminal counts for allegedly defrauding Wall Street mainstay, not to mention lawsuits from the Securities and Exchange Commission and the big bank itself. Both JP Morgan and the feds are accusing her of inflating the number of users on Frank in a bid to defraud the bank. She countersued JP Morgan, and according to her lawyers, spokesperson denies the Justice Department's allegations. Man, you can go out here and literally do the most heinous things to people. Like even take someone's life nowadays, and you will not get as much time as you do if you fuck with the SEC and hide money from your taxes and stuff. I mean, go look at the Chrisleys. I mean, I don't really care for the Chrisleys. My wife watched the show, family watched the show, grandkids, etc. You see how many years they got for hiding money, hiding money from the government. That's it. That tells you everything you need to know. Don't play with them. I can tell you personally, once they get you in your sights, they don't let you go. The name of the game is to keep you in as long as possible. Not only you a tax thing in the world, a tax slave is what we call them in the Matrix. When you get in the system is a profit system. It's a for-profit system. Please understand that. Once you get in the system, their job is to keep you in that system because they get paid while you're in the system. So don't get that messed up. It's not there to help us at all. Brag means business. Donald Trump's career as a businessman was a key part of his pitch to voters in 2016 when he shocked the world and won the presidency. Now that status has come back to haunt the former commander-in-chief in the Manhattan District Attorney's case against him. The DA Alvin Bragg argued in his remarks after Trump's arraignment Thursday that his prosecution of the real estate magnate, one-time steak salesman and former reality TV star was in part about maintaining the integrity of the business in New York. Man, you can miss me with that shit. The indictment charges Trump with 34 counts of falsifying business records in a bid to cover up other alleged crimes. Manhattan is the home of the country's most significant business market. I'm trying to find something. I read this on the show the other day. A significant businessman in market, Bragg said, we cannot allow New York business to manipulate their records and cover up criminal conduct. Let me go ahead and say something, man. That's what they're talking about, right? So I went over the numbers every day. This is our Congress, people. If you don't think this is political, I don't know what to tell you. Just don't reach out to me because I'm just gonna call it what it is. I personally thought that I didn't want Trump for a little while because I love Trump. Don't get that twisted. I love Trump, huge supporter. I like he comes in and shakes things up. I can't stand Biden. I didn't want Trump to come back. I was even looking at DeSantis in the beginning because I wanted our country to heal, right? I feel like we need to heal, and I don't think there's anyone out there. But are we even at a point that can even happen? And when I look at it like that, it's like, all right, I want Daddy back. Come blow this thing up, man. Please, for the love of God. I want some mean tweets. I want some arguments on stage. Like, I want people to finally be called out. And unfortunately, the only way you're going to do is have a disruptor come in there. And he is the only disruptor that I know that can come in and do that. But let me give you some facts and numbers. Out of the 435 members of Congress, 36 have been charged with spouse abuse. 7 has been charged with fraud. 19 have bad checks. 117 have filed at least 2 bankruptcies on 2 different companies. 13 have been jailed for assault. 71 can't get a credit card because their credit's so bad. 14 have been arrested on drug charges. 8 have been arrested on shoplifting, and 84 have DUI charges. And we're worried about what my boy Trump did back and all that. If that doesn't tell you it's a political game, now the bad thing about that is, I don't know about y'all if you've ever been in a position of power or anything like that, but it's like a tick for tat. You come after my boy when I'm in power, I got to go after yours, because if I don't, then we're weak and the people are going to know it. And it's that stupid tick for tack, investigation for investigation. But the difference with this one is Trump is the definition of fuck around and find out. Like, he is definitely that. So I'd say all that to say this: I'm not left, I'm not right, I'm right in the middle, but I do want some change in our lives, and I want us to bring some prosperity back. And I don't think that freaking idiot that's in office right now can do it. And I don't, go ahead.
I don't think any of them, it's all like, I feel is meant to be like this from the jump. Like, there's people above them that are making this all happen. It's all to create division, right?
I 100% agree, bro.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, I'm
They
gonna
put him
repeat.
through hell, though. That's just ridiculous.
I'm gonna repeat what Coach says all the time, and this is exactly what it looks like. They're gonna make us look one way.
Yes.
We don't see what's happening the other way. That is
You are
exactly what this
spot
is.
on, Myro.
Yep.
Yep, exactly right.
Yep. And you see, the banking system's happening. The border. Have you seen the border?
Oh, it's out of control.
Bro, it's epic. It's epic. But we're gonna get off that. This ain't a political thing. This is we're gonna make some money today. That's what we're here for. That way we can make the money and then live the life that we want to live and don't have to deal with all the bullshit. That's pretty much it for the
All the illegals are getting smuggled into Canada, by the way. They're coming across into the Quebec border and going into Canada.
Who is
They're
Faye?
being, the illegals from the US are being smuggled into Canada, into
Yeah.
Quebec.
yeah, we're seeing Guatemalans, we're seeing even Chinese, we're seeing Haitians. It's across the board now. Thousands at a time. Like they're just it's mass. And that is not people seeking asylum. That's an invasion, fam.
You
That's-
can get on the plane without a jab, but there are floodgates open at the border. That's insane.
Yeah, don't even get me started on the jab. All right, let's get into this, man. We've done the press release, we've done the morning squad. Let's go check out the SPY and see if we can make some money today. Ended up trading one more time yesterday afternoon, ended the day with $950 or $955. Good little play day.
Hey, Billy.
Yes, sir.
Hey, I'll tell you that one position I'm going to probably accept, they had in their offer letter that I had to be vaccinated.
Oh,
And I called the HR and I told her, I said, if I have to do this, I said, I'll just pass on the offer. And she goes, no, it's not enforced anymore. You're fine. It doesn't matter.
hell yeah.
And I'm like, all right, that's fine. Cause I'll go get a waiver or I'll just pass on it. It's not,
Man,
it's not worth the money to me. Sorry.
Yeah, it's not worth the sacrifice to me, man.
Nope.
I'm dealing with things on my end with my family on some stuff. Yeah, it's not worth the sacrifice, man. It's not worth the things in your job. Come in here, I'll teach you how to get paid. Take you a little bit, but I can definitely teach you. Don't take that fucking job. All right, so we're sitting on the SPY. You can see we're finding that main support level at 408 or trying to. You can see the trend that we had down from yesterday. So if we crack that, I have a feeling we'll see this downtrend again. Some of the levels that I look for, let's see if we get a pop back up. This 408 acts as resistance. Then I will probably put some puts in, just to be real, and play the puts probably down to the 407.75, 407.70. That'll be my window for some puts. On some calls, man, if we get some volume come in, you could get in around 408.75, full candle above, let it stretch out a little bit, and then play it up to the about 409, 408.90 or 409 area. It's a good little window. If it goes up past there, our next resistance area is the 409.90. That's going to be a pretty significant area. But right now, this is our channel. I do think we're going to find some lower channels here real soon, though. Like I said, our next one, we just need to confirm support at the 407.50 to 407.30 area and see if that holds up. If we crack these, if we crack these areas at the 407.50, we'll go back down and touch this trend line and get right back on trend with this. And if that happens and we crack the downside, I have our next level at 404. So it's going to be some good movement, man. We should be able to make money on the way up and on the way down. As long as we execute properly, we should be good. Let's check out where we are on the flex.
If you
Go ahead.
if you look at that on the I have it on the daily right now.
Yeah.
And yeah, I have when I went to the weekly, I'm on TradingView, but I have, it looks like a pennant form. And it's holding true to that. And then if I go to the daily, we're sitting like right on it right now. So I think we need a confirmation if we're going to put calls. We need that confirmation to break outside of that.
Yeah.
It's been right on. It's
Yeah,
been
I don't think there's going to be a lot of call room. We have 55 on the RSI. It's turned into the downside. You have the 50-day moving average falling in line with the trend line from January 2022. Yeah, started at this trend line started at 479.55 on January 10th, 2022. Now we're at 374. So that's a major trend line. I agree. We're going to need some confirmations before we can go to the upside. We call these rejection points 415. I still feel like if we get a pop, we can go up there, but The 15 is, I mean, the 50 is starting to move the opposite way. If the 200 turns down along with the 50, then yeah, we're going to get some serious pullbacks. But right now, we have the ability to go to each side. We just, like Kyle said, we need some confirmations and see if we can move to the upside.
I threw it in the chat. My trend line's a little different than yours, so you'll probably see what I'm saying once
Yeah.
you see mine. But it's held. I think we're going to see a move downward. Personally, that is my opinion, but can get rejected.
Well, I will say this: you're going to have movement either way because it's gonna go to VWAP. So it's going to have a movement down, but you're also going to have movements up. It's just
Correct.
where is that going to come to within the channel? That's why I said have your puts and your calls loaded because you can make money on both sides.
Yeah.
Let's look at Tesla real quick and see what Tesla's doing. All right, Tesla's getting rejected at that 206 area. It looks like. Let's take times 830. Wow, had a serious. At that 198. Yeah, so definitely that 206 is going to be the 50-day resistance. 13 is at 186.77. So we got a little ways that we can fall. Hit the low of the 190. But this is looking just like the SPY. Cracking to the downside. Did have a little movement or trend down, not a crazy one. Had a decent, and you see what happened. We had a descending triangle below the VWAP, crack support, and now going to the downside. So I wouldn't hit any calls on Tesla until we see another low of the day, 190 or somewhere in that area, and see if we can get a bounce up to 192. Or if we crack that 190.32, see if you can get a small play to the downside and see if we can get a little bit lower. And I believe that's a wrap for today's Morning Market in Minutes, fam. I hope you guys enjoyed this quick and informative look into the financial markets. Remember to stay up to date with the latest news and analysis by visiting our website at 3T Academy and following us on social media. A big thank you to our host, Double Bottom Trades, for bringing us the best in trading strategies and techniques. Until next time.